Hey guys, welcome to Wave. We talk about all things crypto. If that interests you, then please like and subscribe. We spoke about Terra Luna in a previous video. If you are not sure what Terra and Luna is, then you can go and watch that. I've linked that in the description. In this video. Today we'll try and look at what is Terra 2.0. So after the Terra crash that sort of happened 2 weeks ago, the Do Kwon and his entire team, the Terra Foundation, has been trying to resurrect Terra, and today they made a few announcements. So they put out a post saying that they have passed proposal 1623 that sort of voted in favor of going ahead with some of the amendments and some of the proposals that were made. So you can go down to this website Terra Station where you can see what the proposal details were and details about it. About 65% of the voters voted in favor of the proposal, so that was a yes. 20% abstained. About 13 odd percent voted no, but the proposal eventually passed. So, what does this proposal mean? What does it mean for you and me? We can read about that in this blog. So there are two snapshots that they have taken, right? So now Terra itself is going to first of all move away from the system that it is today. The old Luna will be called Luna Classic, and the new one will be called Luna. The old UST will be called USDC, and the new one is USD. They have essentially taken two time frames, a pre-attack and a post-attack snapshot, right? And these are the event is measured at a block height as shown in this table here. So the roughly the dates of these events were 7th May and 26th May. So 7th May was a few weeks back. 26th May is today. Now, what does this actually mean? So, if you were a holder of Terra at either 7th May or 26th May or both, then you will be eligible to get an airdrop of the new Luna token that is coming in, right? And how is that done? What does it mean for you? Well, so that's also detailed here. A pre-attack, if you held Luna, depending on how much you held, then you about 30% will be, let's say at the lowest level where it was less than 10k Luna, then about 30% will be unlocked as soon as that new chain has started. So at Genesis, 70% will be vested over 2 years with a 6 month cliff. What that means is for 6 months, you will not be given any part of that 70% of the Luna that is airdropped to you. After 6 months, for the next 1.5 period after the 6 months, at a predetermined rate, you will be that 70% will be given to you. Right? I did not read anywhere what was this predetermined rate. It could be monthly, quarterly, etc. But it will be given to you over a 2 year period. And depending on whether you own less than 1 million, more than 1 million, that cliff is 1 year. And there's a 2 year vesting after that. And I think nothing is unlocked at Genesis for the large holders. For those who had post attack, which is the snapshot taken on 26th, then 30% is unlocked at Genesis. 70% is vested over 2 years, and that's after a 6 month cliff, just like the less than 10k users. Uh, there is an example also given in this table where you can read about how does this actually work. But what is actually important for you is that one, most of the Terra Classic projects, the ecosystem projects that were there already on the Luna ecosystem, all of them will be moving to Terra 2.0. Many of them have already decided to move to Terra 2.2, right? And one interesting line that they have written here is that Terra will be built with interoperability in mind, and it will be a gateway to the wider Cosmos ecosystem and beyond. Right? And interoperability is definitely a growing sector, a growing problem that's need to be solved. And Terra looks like it's making a play towards that. And how is this airdrop calculated? How much will you get, and so on? There are formulas to establish how much will be given to you. Only thing is whatever was held by Terra Foundation, the TFL in those wallets, those are deducted and the rest are given out. So that means TFL will have no holdings in the final Luna chain. So whether you held USD or Luna pre or post the attack, you will be eligible for receiving the airdrop. So the final user allocation will depend on this formula. So if you have held both pre and post, or at least on one of the events, then you'll be eligible to get these tokens. If you want to read a detailed, the entire details of this proposal, then you can go down to agora.terra.money and you can read the Terra Ecosystem Revival Plan 2 proposal that was passed. There are a few things that I'd like to really highlight here. So Do Kwon himself has sort of posted this. So Do Kwon is the founder of Terra. There are a few things that I want to highlight, and that is the first one is the motivation. Right? He talks about why they wanted to resurrect Luna, and broadly the focus is on the fact that the ecosystem has hundreds of developers working on everything from DeFi to community experience and a lot of projects. There is a large user base, millions across the world, and Luna has a recognized brand name. Right? So they wanted to continue with this, and community is sort of important in the crypto world because like we saw in the case of Shiba Inu, where the community is really building a lot of interesting projects. We have a video on that as well. It's linked in the description. You can go and watch that. So community is something that we cannot really discount, and hence I think Do Kwon is also stressing on that fact that there is a large community who wants this to continue, and hence he is shifting towards the new Luna chain. The next important part of this is the token distribution, right, which is right here. So in the token distribution, what they essentially talk about is who gets how much in the final chain, right? So 30% goes to the community pool. The pre-attack Luna holders get about 35%. The pre-attack UST holders get 10%. Post-attack Luna holders get 10%. Post-attack UST holders get 15%. Now I found a little bit of a concern here, right? And what is that concern? If you look at the data, well, oh, by the way, also notice that already Terra's name has been changed to Terra Luna Classic, right? So if you look at on May 7th, market cap on May 7th was roughly 27 billion dollars, right? And market cap of Luna on like today is about roughly around $1 billion, right? What does that mean? It means pre-attack on 7th May, market cap $27 billion, post-attack today it's $1 billion. The relative share of this is 96% to 3%. It's a 27 is to 1 ratio. But if you look at the final share, right, if you look at what the proposal details out, let me just open that. If you look at what the proposal details out, it says pre-attack Luna holders will get 35% and post-attack Luna holders will get 10%. Right? When the actual share is 96% and 3%, whereas here it has been divided in, it's a 27 is to 1 ratio, but here it's divided in a 3.5 is to 1 ratio, which I did not understand why it was done in such a way. So that seems to be a little bit of an anomaly here. I totally didn't understand why it was done in such a way. Right? And another important thing that was highlighted here is that a new Terra chain without the algorithmic stablecoin. Now, the whole Terra ecosystem was based on the algorithmic stablecoin. So, what is this new chain that is being created without the algorithmic stablecoin? So, then what will it serve a purpose for? Probably details yet to be awaited. But these are some of the concerns I think that I wanted to highlight. But all exchanges today are now sending out emails that either they are pulling the plug or they are supporting the new Luna token and so on. So KuCoin sent out an email. Other exchanges are also sending out their emails telling users that the old UST pairs will no longer be available. Either the new Luna token will be available or the new Luna token will not be available. I think Coinbase did not want to get associated with that. They completely washed their hands off it. For you as an investor, what does it mean? Right. So if you're already invested, then you might be getting an airdrop for this. If you're thinking of investing, or if you want to understand whether you should invest or not, then I think this statement really stands out, and this is what I highlighted in Do Kwon's or the proposal statement as well, where one of the most fascinating things about the crypto community is that the community is able to do a lot of things. Right? The community is able to drive a lot of things. We saw this with Lootbox, we saw this with Shiba Inu, where the community is coming together to build a lot of things. And given that Terra already has a very strong community. There are real world use cases across countries. I feel this is the only uh, silver lining. This is the light at the end of the tunnel for Luna. If anything works for Luna to resurrect back, then it will be this community and only the community. And I think that is the risk here, whether you want to trust the community or you don't want to trust the community. Based on that, you should ideally take a call on whether you want to make an investment or you want to exit the moment you get your airdrop and the new Luna chain is created.